man, the great ones just joined us. We're about to be graced with his presence. I appreciate everybody coming on over to YouTube and checking this out, man. Mr. Daly, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, Coach?
Oh, man, I'm hanging out, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I can't explain it enough. Shit.
Oh, you got it.
How's it going, man? You just got off the road?
Yeah, I just got back from five weeks overseas and got back to Florida. Drove up here yesterday to Arkansas to see my course and my house and everything, get everything organized.
I got you. Now, let me ask you something. You originally born here in Cali, aren't you?
Sacramento, Carmichael.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I never knew that shit. I saw that and I was like, God damn, Northern Cali, brother.
I'm a prune picker.
That's right. No shit. Hey, no doubt. So what drove you to Arkansas? Parents?
Yeah, my dad was in nuclear power plant, so we moved away when I was 4, so I was kind of raised in Arkansas.
Oh, okay, got you. I mean, I love Arkansas, man. I used to recruit the shit out of it when I was at Indy, not too far away. Actually, we'd drive over there all the time recruiting I'd go to Tulsa and then straight over. So we'd be there a lot. So I love Tulsa too, but that's great, man. Your son's also playing there, right, at the university?
He is, yeah, he's loving it. He is absolutely loving it.
He's the next man coming up. He's going to be the next big thing, right?
I hope so.
Shit, he's already huge on Instagram, I just saw.
Yeah, he loves that stuff. He does it all the time.
Hey, you're like me, though. I couldn't give a shit about it. I'm horrible at this shit.
Oh, I am too. I mean, you just share a tweet. Let me see. I got to call my girl. How do you do? Oh, you hit that. Okay, there we go.
I figured. Hey, I was playing with Pat Perez out of Scottsdale, and he was like, "Man, John Daly follows you on Twitter." And I said, "Really?" And I figured you got people that do it. I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, man." I go, "That's good shit." I said, I gotta fucking talk to him. That's my dude. But I appreciate you, man. I got all these different things that pop up here. I got the ticker on the bottom for everybody on YouTube. I appreciate you coming on over. Make sure you head on over and follow John on Instagram and Twitter. Plus, he has some great things going on. Make sure you follow his site. So, John, you got a deal I wanted to shout out. You got a Heart of a Lion. Is that a thing you're still doing?
Yeah, me and Major Ed started that about 2.5 years ago. And what we do is we give money to the responders, to the vets, to SEALs, to all them, and also to the kids. My boys and girls club, and we're building, and hopefully we're going to be able to give a huge check soon to St. Jude because they're passionate about their living in Memphis for 19 years. I've seen some pretty sad stuff, and I want to help out them as much as I can too.
No doubt. It's on the bottom on the ticker for all you guys. If you guys want to help donate to the cause, it's on the bottom. Make sure you check it out. Everything's right there on the ticker. So we appreciate you. John's doing great things for everybody, man. So I appreciate it. John, you got this. Is this your tee now too?
No, that's the old one. You can get rid of that one.
All right. I figured that's why I wanted to ask. So
we got a new one. We got a new one coming out pretty soon. Good boy vodka.
Good boy. Okay, got you. And you had a wine deal too, didn't you?
Yeah, the South African guys didn't do what they were supposed to do. We were selling it pretty good, won a few awards, and they didn't pay the people they needed to pay. So, especially me. So, we kind of got screwed on that deal once again. Go figure.
Right? Oh shit, man! I know how it is. This is your deal, though. Whiskey and Water. The great Willie Nelson. Man, I actually listened to it. I actually downloaded it. You got 2 albums though. Whiskey and Water, though, man. How'd you get into that deal? Is Willie Nelson really? Is he all that they say?
He's the best. He's been my friend for 30 years, and I've sent him 2 songs. My first album was My Life. We did for Make-A-Wish, and he was on one of the songs there. All I did was send it to him, and I sent him this song. I go, guys, Willie would love this song. For some reason, I don't know. I've sent him 2 songs, and he's been on both of them. I didn't ask him to. He just sent that back. He said it's his favorite country song ever, and thank God Sony gave us permission to use it. Thank you, Sony, so much for letting us have it and letting Willie do it with me. And Jake Owens brought up a huge point. It might be the last song he writes or sings with anybody. So,
really,
yeah. But he's a great man. He can't help but love Willie Nelson.
No doubt. Is he? I've talked to Snoop Dogg about him growing up in this neck of the woods. Is he? Can he smoke anybody under the table like they say?
Snoop Dogg smokes a lot, but I don't think he can compare to Willie in his day.
Is that like an absolute? You just get fucking blasted when you go over there making a song with him, or did he just send it to you? You never were in the studio.
Nah, he just sent it to me. But used to back in the day when he was a little young, you walk on his bus, you get high. You didn't have to smoke anything. God bless him.
Secondhand smoke, you getting loaded, huh? Shit. No doubt. So what's going on now? You still out on tour at all, or are you just picking and choosing?
I'm on the old man's tour, the Champions Tour.
Okay. Yeah, Pat tells me he can't wait to get on that fucking thing.
Yeah, but where Pat is right now, I think he's doing okay. He's not playing the best that I know he can play, and he's made $1.8 million the last 2 weeks. Okay.
No doubt. No doubt. Wow. How's that thing with you? How do you feel about all this whole shit, all this beef they got going on?
I just wish all tours can get together and just work it out. Golf's a growing sport. It's it's somewhat. I know it's serious, but it needs to be a little more entertaining as well. That's what the Live Tour is, and but I'm a little mad that some of the guys, they're wanting their cake and eat it too. They came out and said that, well, it's great, an 8 tournament schedule, 14, and now they want to get back in the FedEx Cup. You either play the Live Tour or get with Greg Norman, Jay, and Keith, the tour commissioner over in Europe, needs to sit down and have a talk. Let's get off these lawsuits and make our guys play a few more tournaments. I mean, to me, it's no different than us getting releases after we fulfill our commitment of tournaments that the tour wants us to play. It was no different than, a lot of us going over the European tour paying us to play their tournaments. So,
Right.
I'm more strongly for the PGA Tour because I've been on it for so long, but I also think the Live Tour can really benefit if everybody just gets along. It just needs to happen. Everybody needs to sit down, get it over with. If the guys need to play a few more tournaments to play the Live Tour to get the releases, then do it. But I hate these lawsuits. It's just crazy.
Nah, I hear you. Do you think it'll ever happen? You think they'll come to agreement?
I think they will. I mean, it's tough because the Saudis, Jed's a great prince. I love him, and people bash him for all this other stuff that they've done. But, they own a lot of companies, and, they own some of the LPGA stuff, and they own, I'm not going to step on any toes, but it's kind of a fact that they own a lot of stuff that goes through some of our tours already. So
Yeah.
I just wish Jay and them would all get along, sit down, have a talk. Okay, guys, here's what we need to do. And because these guys, Kepka and DJ and all them, we need them on the tour. Cameron Smith's leaving the year that he's had.
Yeah.
We still need him on the tour, but I also get it. The point is, we play a lot of pro-ams and we get nothing for it. And the thing on the PGA Tour is they could play 1 or 2 pro-ams, and next thing you know, they miss the cut. They get nothing for it. So I agree with them on that. I mean, I know it's a sponsor thing and all that, but it benefits the PGA Tour, not the players, as much as it should.
Right. Yeah. Pat's big deal is like, man, independent contractors and all that, but he's like, we're the only people making the entity money, and everybody gets a check but the players, like the grounds crew, the janitors, everybody's getting a check at the end of Sunday except for the players. If we missed a cut, we got to fork over our own money, come over there, get an Airbnb. That was Pat's thing. But I've been with Pat for the last couple years hanging out, and he just like, he was gung-ho stuck on PGA. He's like, man, I'm sticking with the Tiger Woods of the world on that side of the house because of what's going on. But he goes, I think when people throw you a money, you're 46 years old, Pat still is like, look, I'm not going to beat Rahm and all these guys anymore. He goes, so, why not look out for me and my family's future if I can make money? And like you said, 1.8 in two years, he's actually shot at what he had to shoot a pretty bad day on Sunday and still makes that money. I mean, can't beat that.
No, I mean, the team thing's saving him, but Pat's an unbelievable player. He's got more talent than most guys out there. And, but he's longevity. He's been out there a while. I get it, but your Cam Smiths, your Dustin Johnsons, your Koepkas, who I love to death. I'm not going to tell them what to do, but I just hope Jay and everybody can sit down and talk and get these guys to play both tours, and let's have some fun. I mean, the golf's too great of a game for it to be going like this. And, I've got to stick with the PGA Tour. I'm too old to play the Live. I guess I'm too old to play the PGA Tour. Hell, I don't know. But I wish I was about 10 or 15 years younger. Maybe I would have got a chance to play the Live. But, it is what it is, Coach. I mean, I understand the money. But, Cam Smith, he's represented by my agent, Bud Martin Wasserman. Cam's a great kid. I mean, the year that he's had, it's tough for me to figure out They must be paying him a ton of money because he's
Yeah.
already made, I don't know, 20, 30, $40 million this year anyway. So he's won the British Open. He won the Players. He won the Hawaii tournament at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I feel for everybody involved. I just wish they all could sit down, like I said, and talk it out, and let's everybody just get along and give them the releases, let them play.
No doubt. I agree with you. I agree with you. What, man? So Pat's good friends with Trump. I saw a video the other day. He was out there in Jersey, and fucking Trump walked in with a red tie, and Pat's like, "How fucking strong is that?" And I was dying laughing, man. Pat sent me the video. I'm gonna be going to Boston with Pat next week or a couple weeks here for the live deal. But you got a good relationship with him, huh?
Daddy Trump, I love him. He's been like a dad to me. I've it's amazing how if people, it's that old saying, if you don't know somebody, then shut up about them. And
No shit.
he's one of the greatest human beings. The family's one of the greatest families I've ever met in my life. And, what he's going through right now is just crazy. Our country was in such great shape when he was there for 4 years, and now look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. The fucking Biden's son's on the Air Force One today, and Trump shit got raided. I just look at it like, holy shit, are they setting a precedent to do this shit to any and everybody here in the future? Because if you can raid a former president, which has never happened ever, they fucking better find some shit, or we're gonna be fucked.
They're not going to find anything on Daddy Trump. He's one of the most honest human beings I've ever known. I mean, yeah, so he's had some bad business deals, but who doesn't? You know what? He's come out strong. He's got great golf courses where the Live's probably going to make their home.
Yep.
Which I don't blame Daddy Trump for when they kind of kicked Doral out to Cadillac, and it wasn't Cadillac's fault. But
yeah,
I don't know. I can't understand why people are going after him so hard when he did such an amazing job for 4 years for our country.
Well, look at, people depict, perception's reality. I'm sure me and you can probably relate better than anybody how fucking people, think how we are and they've never met us in their life. So, I find it crazy how people doing jobs that, have no idea on what we do as a coach or a golfer, and then being a professional golfer, the top 150 in the world or whatever it is, to get a card. And then they're going to sit there and talk about whoever, you know what I mean? Like, oh, John Daly shot at 80, but he's one of one. Like, people don't get that shit. Like, Coach Brown, you're an asshole, but you don't know me. You know what I mean? So they've never met Trump. They never met any of these people. They always want to talk about it, but it is what it is. I mean,
well, for you, not getting paid what you probably deserve to get paid, taking care of those kids that are academically struggling from either Division I or even in Division II, that and you're doing your job trying to get them academically ready. And then once they do that and they're playing great and they're healthy, they leave and you got to start over again. You've got one of the toughest jobs I've ever seen in my life. And I enjoyed watching it. Let me tell you something. I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. You're freaking awesome, dude. I love you.
No, I appreciate you, man. I still haven't watched that shit. Netflix didn't give me a dime.
Really?
Never gave me a dime. Nah, it was me just being a coach. I didn't know the deal. I thought, okay, it's a documentary. They paid the school $30,000, and then they didn't give me shit. And then the shit ends up being one of the most watched shows on television, period. On Netflix, the most binge watched show of all time. 300 million eyeballs hit that deal. And now I got people like, man, you might want to look into some law because you got some issues going on. They're using your name continue. That my show's still on that damn thing. They haven't pulled it off. And
you should have signed a waiver for one, and you should be getting royalties for the show as the school should be getting every time it's shown. You should have a Screen Actors Guild card, all that shit.
Yep, never got shit.
I'm sorry, your Division II schools don't have agents for coaches or what?
Nah, JUCOs and shit like that. I had an agent when I played, and so when I had a cup of tea in the NFL, I had an agent and all that shit. But when you get depicted a certain way, just like we're just talking about Trump and everybody else, people start to say, "Oh, screw this guy," and we're not gonna. Administrators and different people start to get scared of hiring you, and so because of a depiction. But it's crazy how I can do it for 20 years before. 3 coach of the years, 8 bowl rings, all sending 25 kids to the NFL, but now I can't because the show.
You know what, Coach? Get your shoulder ready. You can caddy for me because you're like Gruden. You're a hell of a motivator.
Hey, I tell Pat the same thing. I said, man, you want a life coach? Fucking bring my ass on. I'll fucking caddy for you all day. That might be the new Netflix show. Hey, me and you on the course. I'm your caddy. Shit. Hey, I just learned, though, don't ever play with pros, man. I used to be pretty good. I told the story. I grew up with Tiger, not grown up, but we played each other in high school growing up. He's 5 minutes away from where I grew up out here in Cyprus. And we were actually trained by the same guy at Long Beach Hartwell Golf Course, 18-hole par 3. And that's kind of where Tiger grew up playing. And so we played each other in high school. He played 9 holes in high school and all that. And I was real good at the time. My dad had me playing when I was young. I haven't played in so many years. Pat gives me a set of his new PXGs. He's like, dude, I had 30-year-old McGregors, the fucking first ones, John. And the one Arnold Palmer came out with or whatever, whoever it was. So
you had McGregors. That'd be the Nicholas, Jack Nicholas. That's what I started with.
Yeah, Nicholas. That's right. Nicholas.
McGregor tourneys. Yeah, they were awesome blades. Man,
I liked them. And Pat fucking threw them across the course. He's like, get the fuck out of here with this shit, 40-year-old clubs. And so he gives me a new PXGs, and so we played 4 days in a row out there in at Silverleaf. And so it was comical, man. I said, don't ever play with pros. Him and John Rahm and all these guys, I'm trying to fucking just light a cigar up. And these fuckers are pin high every shot, up and down, in the cart, buzzing music. I'm just like, fuck. So, hey, it'd be honored to caddy. Man, what's going on with everything else? You got all these other things going on now with the Hooters and everything else. Is that still a deal?
Oh yeah, me and my son, we're actually doing a Hooters commercial tomorrow in the Fort Smith store, 9 to 2 tomorrow, in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Okay,
we're gonna have fun tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice, man. I got a fan favorite question. What do you think's harder, making it as a pro golfer or a pro football player, in your opinion?
Well, I think you get more opportunities as a golfer, so I'd have to go. It's harder to get on the tour, but I got to go with football's harder because your job, if you make it, is not as long as golf. Golf you can play forever, even as a pro, but football's got to be tougher.
What's your take on this new generation of shit, man? I mean, like, not only in college, right there in Arkansas, one of the best players for you guys the last few years was my running back on the show, Rakeem Boyd. But yeah, what with the new, I don't know what it is, man. I think it's the parenting, obviously, but these kids transferring every day. They're getting all this big money now with these deals with NIL. And I think it's trickling upward for the first time. It's getting into the NFL level. And NFL players are trying to demand trades and shit. Do you just think it's a generational deal, or is it just because they're smarter because of social media and the awareness of, okay, I can find out what I'm really worth now? But it's also lost the hierarchy. I don't believe these kids respect the chain of command anymore because now they're making as much as the damn coach or more. And now they're wanting to transfer every 5 minutes. And so I don't know what you think. Are the kids just different, or is it the parents? Because I think kids are the same. I think the parents have become fucked up.
Well, I think the NCAA needs to go away. I've always said that. I think they're socialist, a bunch of guys that just steal money from every university. Every time I try to get loudmouth in, you got to pay 15% NCAA, 15% here. I'm going like, I'm tired of it. And I look at these kids. I take prime example. I say this to everybody: Dak Prescott. Okay, but there's been millions of them. Jerseys been sold at Mississippi State. The university's making money off of that. Where's Dak's?
No doubt.
So if Dak would have never made it, but what I think the NIL should do in football and all sports, if a quarterback comes in and gets $2 or $3 million, I think the university should get that money and divide it with all the players on the team.
You're like me. I said, screw the NIL shit because the backup's not going to sell a jersey anyway. The backup corner or the backup left tackle, the scholarship dollars should be given amongst the crew of 85 kids. Whether you're a 4-star or 5-star kid, you get a little more money. If you're a 3-star, you get a little less. But that's the Division II model, and that's how they've done it for years. And at least everybody gets a piece of the pie. Right now, you got all these big-time schools. These kids are in the locker room listening to Nick Saban speak, and they're looking at him side-eyed because, their quarterback's making $2 million a year but the backup ain't making shit. And he's like, oh, I got to get up out of here. So you're not even really listening to the head coach anymore like they once did. So I just think it's all screwed up.
That's my whole point. Every player that makes that roster, 85 kids, to get all the NIL money, put it together. The university gets it, and they give it to every kid equally. That's on that team. That way, the team stays as a team, and you're not, the offensive tackle says, "Well, I'm not going to block for him. He's making $3 million, and I ain't getting shit." But if they're all getting the same amount of money, of all the players, then they're all going to work together better.
Yeah. What's your deal with? What's your take on this Deshaun Watson deal? What do you think? They're going to suspend him for the whole year? That's what I've been saying the whole time. I don't think he plays it down this year.
I don't know. That boy's had more women than me and Tiger both put together. Jiminy Christmas. Huh?
Fucking Wilt Chamberlain. Hey,
I don't know.
Listen, John, you haven't heard this, but on my show, I broke a little news one day. I got a good inside source that actually coached them. Got a guy played with them. They said the fucker has a micro penis. So having a micro penis, apparently he had to get some girl to accept him. So he just went through fucking hundreds of them until one of them said it's okay. Because John, they've been showing this picture to me. Look at this. It looks like he's got a pussy. So I don't know what to say. I'm like, God damn, I don't know what the hell's going on, but that could be a thing called small dick syndrome. I've been telling a lot of people about.
I'm not going to get into that, but I've talked to a lot of famous athletes where if they picked up a chick, they made them sign a waiver. These athletes need to make them sign waivers. And they got to sign it sober, not drunk, because if they sign it drunk, well, he took advantage of me. He made me sign it. You sign the waiver, and then you go have some fun. And this is, look, Deshaun, I can't imagine that guy. He looks like he's a pretty cool guy. I can't imagine raping or doing anything to a woman. It's just women wanting money, and it happens all the time to all these athletes. And I kind of feel for the guy a little bit. Now, if he did rape it and they find out, I'll take that back. But I heard 24 of the 28 are already gone, whether they're paid off or whatever by Haslam. But anyway, I just think a lot of them get taken advantage of. Well, I can get money from this guy. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure it has happened where there has been some rape involved. But you look at Deshaun Watson, the way he speaks and the way he is with his team and everything. I don't see that in him to do that.
Yeah, I don't think he raped him, because I think that is the sole reason there is no criminal action going on, because I don't think a girl ever used that word the R word. So once that word never was used, I think that put him in this, let's take advantage of him and get the money deal however we can. Now, was he a weirdo, creepy fuck? Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I define it one way, John. Can you babysit my fucking daughter? And if you... I would say fuck no to him, but that's already the narrative out there, right? We already looking at it like, well, this guy, we don't know the truth or not, but it's really hard for the NFL, I think, to try to suspend him for 2 years or whatever if there's no criminal charges. And I just don't know if you can really, it's kind of a deal. And now the Goodell comes out and says he uses the word predatory, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a big word for you to use without really having any rape charges.
Right. I mean, if the justice system decides he's not guilty, then they need to leave him alone. The NFL needs to let him play. But, it's the same thing when I got, basically I got a stepdaughter and 2 daughters. If a boy comes over and takes him out, I put a sandbox in front of the door. If his penis sticks to it, I'm going to kill the son of a bitch when he brings her home. So that's a good trick, by the way.
Wait up, say that shit again. So you got a sandbox.
Yeah, you take my daughter out, and when you bring her home, I'm gonna stick your penis in that sandbox. If it sticks to it, you're a dead son of a bitch.
No fucking doubt. No doubt. That is a hell of a thing. I thought you meant if it hangs that low. So that's a good one. Shit, that motherfucker's wet, huh? Shit. Hey, that's some old school shit. That sounds like my pops, man. Shit, that's a great fucking saying. No doubt, man. I used to carry the shotgun around. My daughter's 23 now, and I'm like, fuck, man. I don't know if I could do it again nowadays with these fucking disrespectful kids. I mean, they're throwing erasers at teachers and fucking just telling their mom what they won't and will eat. I'm just like, what? I wish you would tell me some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad world right now. It's a tough world to. I'm glad all my kids are grown up because I really don't want to start over. Not in this day and age. I feel bad for, you know, Sean is 30, Sierra's 27, Little John's 19, and my stepdaughter Chris is 18, and they're going to live in a world if this world keeps going the way it is, it's going to be sad. It's a tough world to live in right now.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So listen, you won 2 majors, 5 PJ wins and you got 20 wins total or something like that as far as the whole tour, professional tour. You got 20 wins, I think.
All over the world. I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
You know,
I don't win.
So
Let's put it this way, Coach.
Man?
If you had that record, you never would be coaching.
Hey, you know what though? I equate it to baseball, man. You know, these hitters come up and these greatest hitters of all time, they bat whatever, 320, 310. But if you really look at it, it's really 0.31% because they take so many bats and they give these high rankings. And I'm just like, dog, baseball players really have a shitty hit to strikeout ratio, but 300 is actually considered good. And it's funny how perception's reality, man. How was winning that first tour, man? You come out as a youngster. I remember watching it, man, as a youngster on TV. And I was our fan right away. I was like, this guy's different. He's the fucking, the Adam Sandler of professional golf. When that movie came out, you were the guy that brought entertainment. But what was that like as a youngster winning that first thing and everyone's finding out, okay, this guy's just not a long ball guy. He can play.
It was, I tell you what, it was like a blur. I didn't get a practice round. So I went right in there, got in there at 2 a.m. because I didn't know if I was going to get in the tournament. And next thing I know, I'm in the tournament and win the damn thing. And I didn't know what to expect. And the funny thing is I found out it's a 10-year exemption on the tour and then 5 years in the majors, lifetime in the PGA.
Wow.
And I go, if I'd have known that teeing up Sunday, I would have shot 95. Thank God I didn't know that.
Hey, that's funny how that shit works. That's serious shit, man. The same shit's happened to me, man. I'm like, shit, that is a psychological killer right there. And then you went on in 95 and win it again, or you won the Open.
That's the one. I mean, if you ever dream of winning one, Masters is you always dream of winning the Masters. The PGA is awesome. U.S. Open would be okay. It's not something that was on my big list. I think they set the courses up too bad, but you win the Open at St. Andrews, just like Nicholas said, your career is complete.
What you finished second or third one time in the Masters?
I think I finished third in the 7th or 4th in the 5th. I had some opportunities, just didn't happen.
Man, I was talking to Mark Calcavecchi the other day, and he said the same thing. He's just like, man, I've won 13 times or whatever, but I've also finished second 27 times. And he goes, that's a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? He's like, shit, we're there that close. Golf is just fuck, man. It's just playing it my whole life too. I'm like, shit, it's so close, but yet so far away. You roll it right over the hill, right over the hole, and it goes 20 feet past, and you 3-putt back, and it's like, fuck, I had a birdie, now I'm 3 over, and it's just like, it's such a finite sport, and I just don't think I equate it to wrestling because you have no tag team partner. You have nothing to bail you out but yourself, your grit, your nuts and guts, and I don't think people understand that football, basketball, baseball, you got other people. That's why I used to love recruiting wrestlers, man. Especially I had a lot of Arkansas wrestling kids that I would recruit because they're fucking tough, gritty. They're used to battling on an island by themselves. And I just think you guys are the same way. I don't think golfers get enough credit, man, because not only are you I guess the etiquette of it, I think I'm be honest, John, I don't know how you feel, but I think I would, if I was a commissioner of football, I would make every single kid nowadays have to go learn the game of golf, but just for the etiquette, just for the fucking etiquette. I walk around with Pat's caddy H, great dude, man, and been with Pat forever, and he's like, JB, just it's you get the young kids, even at the 8-year-olds, they're yes or no, sir. They understand the game. They don't talk when people are playing. It's just it kind of trickles upwards into their life. And it's funny how that works. And I'm just like, man, that's a real thing. I didn't think about it. I was like, man, it's like I used to put my linemen in ballet class. I wanted to get their feet fucking quick. I wanted to get their feet light and right. And I would do the same with my kids and put them in golf. I'm like, shit, learn some damn respect. We got too many fucking disrespectful fucks out here. I think it's crazy.
There is. You're right. There's a lot of disrespectful kids. That's the way they're growing up, and I don't know if it's mainly the parents' fault. They can, you spank a child at 13, they're going to sue you now. So I mean, like,
No shit.
I mean, I got hit by my dad so many times that I've never spanked my kids. I did it differently. Voice yelling is a little bit can scare them just as much as a ass whooping. But then, like when they're really into the toys, they don't pick them up after you tell them 3 times. Well, that's what the backyard's for. You put them in a pile and you burn the shit out of them. That'll get their attention, So I did the opposite of what my dad did, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah. See, your dad's like my dad, I'm sure. I didn't like this, Dad. I don't want to eat beets and liver. Oh, really? Cool. He got up and went to fucking bed, and I said, well, where's the chicken? He was like, chicken? You either wear that shit to bed or you eat it. Yeah, there ain't no fucking in between.
I sat at the table for many, many hours because my dad would try to make me eat stuff, and then I'd eat it, and I'd throw it up, and then he'd whoop my ass, and I go, you know what? What can I do? That's just the way my dad was. That's the old school stuff, but I get it. Back then, still today, food ain't cheap. But, if someone doesn't like it, you can't force feed them. I just think that's a wrong move.
I'm the same way. I think you get a lot of these fuckers turn into serial killers when you force feed them. I mean, you see all these different people out here nowadays that are doing this shit. They want to do just the opposite of what you told them to do. So I get that too, man. So it's just interesting, man. But so what's going on next with you? What do you got going on? Anything in the works? I know you're going tomorrow to Fort Smith with your son, Hooters deal. Anything else with the gear? You still got your apparel?
Got Loudmouth. It's going strong. We went back to internet sales, which I'm so glad Andrew did. The company's doing well. He's just building it back a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some new product coming up pretty soon, which everybody will love. And, and then I got a special guest Saturday. He's coming out. Then we're going to have some fun. He's coming to my golf course. You'll see it soon. It's me, Little John, and him. I love this kid to death. He's an amazing person. And you'll see it. We're going to get a lot of hits on what we're going to do. But and then off to New York for Champions Tour, and then down to where do I go? Up to Michigan, and then St. Louis, and then South Dakota. Some of my favorite tournaments are coming up on our Champions Tour, so I'm kind of excited about it.
How long do you see yourself playing still?
I think until I'm about 6 feet under, because what the hell else am I going to do? I can't move like I used to. I could do porn, but I just, I'm not a contortionist anymore, Coach. You know what I mean?
Hey, short, fat, skinny, and tall, brother. I fuck them all still, so I don't care.
I'm like Jesus. I love them all.
Hey, is Ironhead Hayward one of your guys behind you?
Yeah, I'll have you come to my house sometime. This jersey collection's amazing.
Man, that was my dude, Ironhead Hayward. His son actually is in the league now, I think.
Yeah, Coach Reeves was a really good friend of mine. 94, when I was living in Colorado, I went out and kicked 3 field goals. And my boy Steve Atwater, who I love to death,
man.
Razorback safety, one of the best ever. And he was the only one that stood around when I made all 3 of them because I got them off practice. They all ran to the locker room and got in their cars and got the hell out. And Atwater stayed. Said, JD, thank you, brother. Because Coach Reeves he's a great coach, but he was tough on him.
Oh yeah, he get after him, man. Atwater would put your dick in the dirt now. He was a motherfucker now. He'll hit you.
He was.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have that anymore. So
well, you can't do it anymore. They might as well put flags on these kids now that are playing football.
Oh man, I played quarterback, and I'm embarrassed that the quarterbacks just sit there and they can't get hit anymore. I just don't think it's fun. I think when you took the chin shot and got the scar, not only did girls like it, but you earned the shit. You earned 20 touchdowns.
That's why you grow one of these to you get rid of the scars.
Man, I need that shit, John. That looks good on you, brother. You wear it a lot better than me, though. Shit. Well, hey, man, I don't want to take up more time. I appreciate you coming on. I got to get out there and see you, man, and hang out with you sometime. And like I said, if you need a caddy, brother, let me know. I'll fucking come out there and give you the distance, down in distance. Shit, just like coaching.
You got it. Hey, next time we'll just do our own football show. I'll be your assistant coach and special teams, and we'll definitely make sure we have agents to sign good contracts where we get paid.
Hey, that's what it's about. I got fucked. I appreciate you. Hey, much love, brother. I appreciate you.
You got it. Take care, Coach.
Take care, John.
Bye.